It's nice to see all the beautiful people in one place. I really appreciate everyone being able to facilitate this talk for me. Just like Dave earlier, who inspired me by being so brave and showing his passion. I'd like to really appreciate everyone, and especially James. He had a talk with me on the phone yesterday, and really calmed me down. Even right now, I'm sweating, trembling, a little bit of a nervous wreck.
Just imagine everybody naked.
I was thinking about telling a joke. I was thinking about telling a joke, asking everyone if they'd imagine if they were naked, and that energy would help me. Okay, so my name is Shane McKinnon. I've been training Kung Fu at a studio called Kung Fu for Life for 5 years now. I train in the art of Shaolin Wushu, Shaolin meaning wavering tree, and Wushu meaning martial combat, so military combat, violence. Again, I've been training for 5 years. I've been professionally teaching for 1 and volunteering my time for about 3. I started off teaching children. I really enjoy children. The innocence, the lack of habits, they're beautiful creatures. You're able to mold them and really give them proper tools. To deal with the society, to deal with the skewed outlooks on our subject, the divine masculine. Bringing them to that balance where they need to be. I'm a very physical person. I have been all my life. I don't enjoy reading or writing or school for the most part. I played hockey and lacrosse for 15 years, very competitively. I enjoyed coaching. My family was very much a part of it. I enjoyed togetherness, but I also enjoy oneness, my alone time, being able to be strong, not just for myself, but for others. And that's something that's really important to me. Now, when it comes to hockey and lacrosse, the competition and competitiveness really got to me. The politics seemed to really push me out of balance. I was, fighting 3-4 times a game, not for myself or my own personal interest, but more or less to protect the honor of my team and some of the gentlemen that weren't able to defend themselves. I met a beautiful woman named Janine Prefontaine, my fiancée in the back, and I decided to leave competitive sports and go on a different journey of love, not just for physical sports and being physical, but emotional love, a new journey. Again, I started training Kung Fu in 2008, and I really found a lot of difficulty with the self-discipline of showing up every day, every second day, every third day, whatever the schedule called for. And I gave excuses like, no, I can't afford it, or no, I can't do this, no, I can't do that. And I really needed to turn myself around because it was important to me to be a physical person. It was my place at home. And so I finally decided after taking a 6-month break that I need to go back home to that physical place that gives me balance, that gives me purpose. And I finally did. After a little while, I really started to train hard and I was affecting others. The self-discipline was, of course, the first thing that really, really started to affect me. It gave me bravery, and through the form of directness. I was able to walk up to people and help them, not just correct them, but guide them through whatever portion of their training or life that I was capable of doing at that time. That relationship really goes back and forth in our studio. There's a very good balance between the masculine and the feminine. We're asked to use our intuition, right? But I teach people how to hurt other people, to be honest with you, right? It is a deadly sport and it's a deadly art, but it's all about how you apply things. Like the Kung Fu and the art that I train is important to me because of the way I apply the Kung Fu. I don't go around looking for fights. I don't go around looking to defend myself. I don't go around trying to teach people how to defend themselves. If there's anything that I really want to teach, it's about being aware. You be aware of yourself and your situation, taking responsibility. You know, relating that divine masculine, the structure, the love, the balance and preservation of yourself. Keeping, again, that self-discipline. So, going back to the bravery and the positive effects of that bravery, I was able to stay really, really direct, again, helping these students, you know, and being direct with myself, honest. You know, I looked at myself and I said, where can I improve? And I was looking at myself physically, and all of a sudden, a spiritual side, a mental side started to really come into Kung Fu. I originally started training because I didn't want to be a victim. I enjoy protecting people, the protector. I don't like seeing pain, and especially physical pain. And so I like to be there for people when the time arises. Back to my point of directness, that spiritual side, I eventually started to find the attitude of there's no need to be around the bush, there's no need to justify, there's no reason to lie. You know, that is the directness that I'm talking about. I'm able to look at a person in the eye and say, you need to work on your high rising bar. Or, you know, I noticed that you were down today, can I help you, right? Some people may not be open to help, but I'd like to facilitate that help or that place for people in Kung Fu. Now to the next part, positive aspects of the divine archetype. Self-discipline was the first one that I was just touching on. Now honor is another one that I'd really like to incorporate, just because in history, honor has had a lot of ups and downs. There's skewed outlooks on honor, and there's also very positive outlooks on honor. You know, there's people in history that will do very extreme things in the name of honor. But it's again, it's how you apply that trait or that perspective that really makes you who you are. Now, before every class at Kung Fu, and at the end of every class, we bow in. We bring our hands together in prayer position. Everyone bows together as synchronized as possible. This is to respect our past and present masters. I really believe in honor. It's a mutual respect, again, being conscious of yourself and the peers around you, being conscious of how they affect you and you affect them, their accomplishments and your accomplishments, how you can help each other as a community. This I incorporate all in honor. I honor my teachers, I honor my friends, I honor my family in a very positive way to where I can share it with people. And honor to me is about sharing. If you didn't share your honor or your self-discipline, then what would you have to compare to others? It's always nice to have a left and a right side. It gives us a lot of beautiful discussions like we have tonight, and it really gets my mind moving. You know, I wrote a lot on this booklet that I had, and to tell you the truth, I'm not reading any of it. It feels really awesome because I'm sweating less and I'm shaking less, and I really appreciate everyone's smile. Okay, so now to continue. For a while, I was training for myself personally, working really hard just to be a better person, not just for myself, but more specifically for my family at home. I have 2 beautiful dogs and a cat, a couple of fish, and my fiance. It's really important to me that I'm there to protect them, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. Like I said earlier, it's important to me to be able to come home and be that solid stone, tree, whatever is that solid manifestation or metaphor within your life. I soon was offered a teaching position, or more or less it's a student teacher position, and I was told that I had to volunteer my time for at least 1 year. At first I was like, why do I volunteer my time? Why would I volunteer? And I really beat myself up for asking myself that at first. The reason how could I be so selfless? I was asked by my teacher, who respects me, who was asked by several other students and suggested from our Grandmaster himself. And I thought, someone sees something in me, like James. And I was able to step up and gain courage and confidence, self-awareness. And I brought that to the students at Kung Fu for Life. And I've also really tried to bring that to other people within the realm outside of Kung Fu, my home life, and also my spiritual life. I'm usually very personable about my spiritual life, but groups like this really help me open up and really help me articulate what I feel that I can share with people. And I really do see myself as a leader, not just at Kung Fu, but everywhere I go. I enjoy helping, and Kung Fu has really given me an opportunity to gain the courage, the self-confidence, which in turn, really came from the self-discipline. It's that mind power, and again, that's what Kung Fu is really all about. It's about mind power. It's not about hurting or defending or attacking or moving for that point. Those are just things that help you physically center yourself. Again, we do live in this reality. We have a left and a right, so we need a balance. And during those 2 years that I wasn't exercising, I lost that balance. I had a childhood dream of being the best martial artist in the world. I really enjoy Kung Fu. Kung Fu, in its definition, means hard work and effort over time. And you cannot accomplish hard work and effort over time without self-discipline, honor, and now to tie it all together, integrity. Now, integrity was really kind of back and forth, and it changed my outlook slightly on what I was going to say about integrity, but I'll just kind of go with what comes out of my head. Integrity really brings self-discipline and honor together. It shows how transparent or how much choice you've really decided to make in your life. I find myself to be very integral with my Kung Fu because of how much I enjoy it. Integrity shows how much things matter to you. Like this really mattered to me. That was probably why I was shaking and shivering and sweating. And that allows me to apply that courage, that self-discipline, to come here and share what I have with you guys today. Now, I have so much more to say, and James was totally right. I could probably speak forever and thought I was only going to be 5 minutes. Being mentally supportive, and giving my best effort when training. I call that being an everyday hero. Now, I enjoy surrounding myself with people that I consider everyday heroes. I have the honor to work with very special gentlemen at Kung Fu, and one of them, his name is Mr. Manuel, and I'm a very emotional person, and I'm on the verge of crying because Mr. Manuel is an extremely beautiful person. He helps people, and he's able to zone in on your soul and your life during class and really give you what you need for that moment in time. It's really uplifting to be able to take these lessons from other people and again really apply them to help others. And the underlying point of everything that I'm trying to say today is be aware of yourself, be aware of your peers, know how you affect others, and know how they affect you. We're all a community. We all matter to each other. That's why we're here today. So be safe, love one another, and thank you very much. Just one more quick thing. I know James will probably mention this, but please feel free to ask me questions. I enjoy one-on-one conversation a lot more than I enjoy this. But this is something that I'm pushing myself to do, to gain these personal conversations and meet new people. And after James speak, if I do have time, I would like to demonstrate the balance between the two styles of Kung Fu, hard and soft style.
Well, what I was going to ask was the same question I've asked everybody,
Yes.
right? Which is, what is supine masking, blah, blah, blah. So maybe instead, we'll take these 2 or 3 minutes that are left over before we move on to Sky and the facilitated discussion for you to maybe address that specific question in...
Could you ask me again, please?
Okay. What are some characteristics of the divine masculine, and what does the divine masculine mean to you?
Some of the characteristics of the divine masculine that I've gained?
In general.
I
I mean, ultimately, I was asking if you wanted to show us in your physical practice, or if you want to answer in...
Oh, show us in the physical practice. There's only so much I can show in the physical practice. I mean, all the movements that I will be showing required, again, perseverance, self-discipline, self-confidence. I need to be able to look at myself and my progress and reflect to get to where I am, to being that role model for other people, being that teacher or guidance for others. So for me, it's really brought, it's centered me to the point where I can really share my energy, which is important for me. Does that make sense?
I think that addresses that question really beautifully.
Yeah,
I offer you a couple minutes to present, and then I do have to move on.
Definitely.
To that. Yeah.
So what I'm going to present is Kempo 1, 2, and 3. These forms are designed to fight, and excuse me, I hurt my back the other day, so I'm going to try my best. But these forms are designed to fight more than one person at a time. Kempo 1 starting off is very hard style, very solid, very stopping motions. Kempo 2 is hard to soft, so you'll see closed fist, you'll see me flow into different positions. Kempo 3 is really mastering all three, bringing hard and soft together. So I'll begin. Sorry, slipped through the floor.